I'm 75 years old, and I've turned down every social invitation I've received in the past 3 months. A birthday party for an old friend, a church potluck I used to attend religiously, coffee with my book club, lunch with my neighbor. Every single one, I made an excuse. Too tired, not feeling well, already have plans. But yesterday, sitting alone in my house on a Saturday afternoon, while across town people I care about were gathering without me, I had to face the truth I'd been avoiding. I'm not turning down invitations because I'm busy or tired. I'm turning them down because getting myself ready and out the door to be social has become more than I can manage. And that terrifies me. It started gradually, like everything does. Maybe 6 months ago, I began to notice that accepting an invitation created this knot of anxiety in my stomach. Not excitement, anxiety. Because between the invitation and the event, there were all these steps I'd have to complete: shower and make myself presentable, pick out clothes and get dressed properly, do my hair, maybe bring something if it was a potluck, figure out how to get there, be alert and engaging for however many hours. And each step felt like climbing a mountain I wasn't sure I could summit. So I started declining occasionally. Just when I genuinely felt too tired or the event seemed like too much effort. That was reasonable, I told myself. You don't have to say yes to everything. You're allowed to prioritize your energy. And that was true. But what started as occasional self-care became a pattern, became a habit, became my default response to any social opportunity. No, I can't make it. Sorry. Maybe next time. I live alone. I've lived alone for 11 years since my husband died, and living alone after 70 means social events are your connection to community. They're how you see people, how you stay part of the world, how you prove to yourself and others that you're still functioning, still capable, still here. When you stop attending, when you start isolating yourself, you're not just missing parties, you're severing the threads that tie you to life beyond your front door. Have you felt this happening? Invitations becoming burdens instead of opportunities. Social life becoming something you avoid rather than something you seek out. The worst part was the excuses. I became an expert at making excuses. I'm not feeling well. I have a headache. I didn't sleep well last night. I have something else I need to do. And people accepted them at first, were understanding, told me to feel better, told me we'd reschedule. But I never rescheduled, never suggested an alternative. Just let each invitation die with my polite decline and hoped they'd eventually stop asking. When was the last time you actually wanted to go somewhere? When did socializing stop being something you looked forward to and start being something you dreaded? My daughter started to notice. She'd ask what I'd been doing, who I'd been seeing, and I'd realize I hadn't seen anyone in weeks. She'd mention friends who'd told her I'd turn down their invitations and ask if something was wrong, and I'd lie, say I'd just been busy, say I was fine, say I'd reach out soon. But we both knew I wouldn't. We both knew something had shifted. The truth I couldn't quite face was that getting ready for social events had become overwhelmingly difficult. The shower felt like too much effort. Getting dressed in proper clothes instead of my comfortable house felt exhausting. Doing my hair and makeup, making myself look presentable, that required energy I didn't have. And that was just the preparation. The actual event meant having to be on. Having to be alert and conversational and engaged. Having to track what people were saying and respond appropriately. Having to remember names and faces and previous conversations. And I wasn't sure I could do it anymore. Do you avoid going out because the effort of getting ready feels impossible? Because maintaining a social presence requires more than you have to give? 3 months ago, I was invited to a birthday lunch for someone I've known for 30 years. Someone who mattered to me. Someone whose friendship I valued. And I said no. Made up some excuse. And she called me afterward, hurt, asking why I was pulling away. Asking if she'd done something to offend me. And I had to tell her, no, it wasn't her, I was just dealing with some things. But I couldn't tell her what things. Couldn't explain that I'd avoided her party because I couldn't manage the basic task of making myself presentable and showing up. After that call, I stood in my bathroom, looking at myself in the mirror. Really looking. Seeing an old woman in stained sweatpants and an oversized shirt. Hair unwashed for days. Face bare. Someone who'd stopped taking care of herself. Someone who'd stopped trying. And I realized this was why I wasn't going anywhere. Not just because getting ready was hard, but because I'd stopped bothering to maintain myself at all. And if I couldn't maintain myself, how could I maintain a social life? My son came to visit and was shocked by my appearance. Asked when I'd last showered, last done my hair, last worn real clothes, and I got defensive. Told him I was comfortable. Told him I was fine. But I saw the concern on his face. Saw him calculating what this meant. If his mother had stopped basic grooming and social engagement, what did that say about her ability to live alone? That's the nursing home fear underneath all of this, isn't it? Because when you stop participating in life, when you retreat into your house and stop maintaining yourself and stop seeing people, that's when others start questioning whether you're capable of independent living. That's when conversations shift from whether you want help to whether you need it. Whether you can stay in your home or whether intervention is required. He sat me down and we talked about what was really happening. About the anxiety around getting ready. About the exhaustion of socializing. About how I'd slowly withdrawn from everything and everyone. And he asked the hard question, was I depressed? Was something wrong that needed addressing? Or was this just aging? Just natural decline? Just me becoming someone who couldn't manage the demands of a normal social life anymore? I didn't know how to answer. Maybe both. Maybe I was depressed because I was losing capability. Maybe I was losing capability because I was depressed. Maybe it was all tangled together in a way that couldn't be separated. But the result was the same. Isolation, deterioration, a slow slide away from the person I used to be, toward someone I didn't recognize. He helped me that day, helped me shower, helped me wash my hair, helped me put on clean clothes, and then he took me to lunch. Just the two of us. Nothing fancy, nothing demanding, just getting out of the house, being in public, practicing being a person again. And it was hard, harder than it should have been. But I did it. We made a plan together. Small steps. Accept one invitation per week. Just one. Even if it felt impossible. Even if I had to ask for help getting ready. Even if I had to leave early or only stay briefly. Just show up. Maintain some connection. Keep some thread tying me to the world beyond my door. He also arranged for someone to come help me twice a week. Not just with cleaning or errands, but with personal care. Help me shower. Help me dress. Help me maintain basic grooming. Not because I'm incompetent, but because I'd proven I wouldn't do it alone. That left to my own devices, I'd let myself and my social life completely deteriorate. It's been 6 weeks now. I've attended 4 social events, a church service, coffee with a friend, a small gathering at my daughter's house, a lunch with my book club. And each one was difficult. Each one required effort and energy and help. But I went. I saw people, I participated, even briefly, in life beyond my walls. I'm learning that avoiding social events isn't just about preference or energy management. It's a warning sign, a signal that something has shifted. That aging and independence are pulling apart in ways that go beyond just physical capability. That when you stop wanting to see people, stop bothering to maintain yourself, stop participating in community, you're not protecting your energy. You're losing your connection to everything that makes life meaningful. If you've been turning down invitations, if your social life has withered, if getting ready to go anywhere feels impossible, please hear what I'm saying. This is serious. This is about more than missing parties. This is about isolation, about decline, about losing yourself piece by piece until there's nothing left but someone sitting alone in an increasingly small world. There's still time to reconnect. There's still time to accept help with grooming and getting ready. There's still time to say yes to one invitation, just one, and start rebuilding the connections you've let deteriorate. But there's not unlimited time. And waiting until you've been isolated so long that you've lost all social connections, until no one invites you anymore because you always say no, that's when loneliness becomes permanent. That's when independence becomes imprisonment. So please, look at your calendar honestly. When was the last time you went somewhere, saw someone, participated in anything? And if it's been too long, why? What's really keeping you isolated? Because understanding that is the first step toward changing it. If this resonated with you, if you've been isolating yourself, I hope you'll subscribe to this channel. Share this with someone who might be withdrawing from life. Leave a comment about your experience, because you're not alone. Hit the like button if this felt real. We need to talk about isolation. We need to face it together. Real independence includes connection. And that's something I'm learning one difficult outing at a time.